Hello everyone. How's everyone doing today? So I am out in my car. I am going to be doing a short video just to speak on a couple of things that the Lord has been leading me to speak on. I do have the lawn man out. He just pulled up, looks like, and he will be cutting the yard. Hopefully it does not interfere with the video, and if it does, I will come back and do another video. All right, so I just want to get a couple of things out. First things first, God is getting ready to bless many of us who have been on this walk. It has not been an easy walk. It's learning stuff day by day, letting God lead. Pretty much just falling to the back and letting God lead us in what we need to be doing. And a lot of the times I realize that God could be speaking to us and trying to correct us on certain things, or trying to get us to put something out, like put a message out, and you'll get the message and you'll realize that a distraction comes about to where you don't get the message out, and that's the enemy. And we should be more, that's the thing, we should be speaking, I'm speaking as me too. It's a distraction to where it's getting to where you're not able to, see, the thing is, at this time, God is lifting us up to be leaders to many. We have a team that's under us that we don't know who the individuals are, but we do know that God has us with a team, and our message is supposed to get across to certain individuals. If we're not coming to being consistent with the word, it's interfering with God's purpose and God's plan. So God had to wake me up and help me to realize that it's so many distractions. Help me to realize that it's no longer about me. It's more so about what God has and what his will is, and what I'm supposed to be doing and being obedient to. So that's one thing. And the reason I'm speaking is because I know that I'm not the only one who is struggling with certain things. So that's why I'm speaking on it. Another thing is, you may feel like it's been a stagnant period in your journey, to where you're not able to hear from the Lord. And a couple of reasons I noticed is because when God is calling us to do something, and or tell us to stay away from this certain individual and things of that nature. Now, let me say this. We are God's children. But sometimes when God has to repeatedly tell us over and over and over, like a little toddler, we are mature adults. We're supposed to be mature adults, so where we can get the message the first time or the second time, rather than the third, fourth, fifth time that God has to keep repeating the same thing over and over. And I'm not trying to offend anyone, because like I said, if I'm speaking on it, it's because I've been through it, and it was a learning lesson for me. So that's why I'm able to speak on it. If God has told you to stay away from a certain individual, and you've stayed away from this person a good amount of time, you've been obedient. But however, you start to think you can overrule or put your foot in and be like, okay, well, I'll be limited to what I tell this person. I can still communicate with this person. But that's the thing. God knows all and sees all. So God knows this person's heart. God knows this person's motives. God knows how they're trying to twist things and things of that nature. And it's like an open door portal that you're leaving open when you decide to keep that person in the background, the person that God has told you to keep away. And you're thinking that, okay, as long as I don't share this information with this person, I'm good to go. No, you're leaving an open portal, something that God has called you away from, when he's trying to build you up to be this new person and see things in a different light and lead you into a different company, meaning different individuals who's more on the walk that you're on the walk of. He's bringing these people into your life, but you're still trying to bring that old baggage. Listen to me. You're study trying to bring that old baggage into what God is doing at this time. So that's one of the messages that I needed to deliver to you, because like I say, I fell short of it and I had to keep learning over and over. That's not something that you're supposed to be doing. Another thing I want to touch on that's a little bit related to that is, when God is telling us to do something, right? And we're very, very sure that that was God's voice who said that, right? Okay? And we take it upon ourselves. We know in the back of our mind this was God speaking to us. But however, we decide to do it on our own timing rather than what God told us to. When God gave us the message to do it, we decided to do it on our own timing. That's no more letting, when you do that, decide to do that, you're now telling God, oh, you're going to do it when you want to. You'll get around to it when you feel like it, is what you're telling God. Rather than allowing him to lead you and you follow right behind him. Rather you allowing him to lead you and you follow behind him. Because everything that God does, he does it for a reason. We may not know the reason that he's doing these things for us. We may not be able to see the reason behind why he's doing what he's doing. God knows all and sees all. The things that we're not able to physically see, God knows what's going to happen when we do this. So when he leads us to do this, it could be a breakthrough on the other side. But since we're deciding to not do it at his timing, we're doing it on our own timing, it's causing more delays. Do you hear what I'm saying? And like I say, I'm going to keep repeating this. When I'm telling you guys this, it's because I went through it. I had to go through it. I experienced it. So that's why I'm able to speak on it. And I know if I went through it, many of you may be experiencing the same thing as well. Okay? All right. Another thing I want to speak on. This video is going to have a couple of different topics that you may be struggling with. So another thing I wanted to speak on. When you're in this isolation stage, right? You're in the isolation stage. And the enemy has very, very limited things to work with, okay? Reason I say that is because you're isolated from the world, right? So things that he tries to normally, being that you're isolated from the world, the things that he normally could try to tempt you with, like if you were once smoking, drinking, taking pills, whatever the things may be, and you're no longer, God has weaned you away from that, you're no longer struggling with that, right? The enemy has to find a new tactic, right? You're isolated from the world now, so the enemy knows that this is not going to move you any. So it's pointless to present it to you because it's not going to move you any, because you're isolated. You're in your home. You're no longer engaging with that activity. But the enemy has to find something. What is a weak spot in her that I could, or him, that I could trigger with? What is something that they struggle with? Let me go ahead and mess with that. Oh, they have a problem with anger. Let me go ahead and try to shift their moods. Or let me, they have this lust spirit on them, and sometimes, and God is working with them on it. But however, I know that they struggle with this. Let me go ahead and present that to them. I mean, yeah, the enemy's like, let me present this to them and see if they fall short. You see, the enemy is very limited on the things that he can present to you at this time, because you're so close to God at this time, to where if he tries to present something that you are no longer struggling with, he knows that's attack. He knows that you're going to know that that's a tactic from the enemy. Am I making sense here, y'all? Let me know in the comments if I'm making sense. If he tries to present something that you no longer struggle with, you're going to know that that's a tactic from the enemy. Okay? Now if you're still struggling with these things, so let's just say your anger or your patience and stuff like that, the enemy will try to work his way in and try to trigger you with your anger or your patience, right? And you need to catch it quickly. When you see that the enemy is trying to do these things, don't engage with what he's trying to get you off your post, because you're going to cause a delay. I just experienced that not even 3 minutes ago. The enemy was trying to come in and cause a lot of, cause me to like get all scrambled up. He tried to cause me to get scrambled up in the midst and have me be angry with certain things. And I caught it in the midst. I caught it right in the midst, and it was a test from the enemy. That was a test. You cannot allow the enemy to get you off your post of the good work. And the good news is getting ready to come. But however, you keep getting distracted with these same things. You keep falling for these same things that the enemy keeps presenting. Okay? All right, so that's another word. That's another word. What is oh, I have another one here for you. I'm trying to get everything off that I've been experiencing that I just haven't made videos for. Another one is touching on the same topic. Again, when you're isolated and you don't have many, the enemy doesn't have many things to work with, then he will start, he knows you like to eat, right? So then that's when the food starts playing. You notice that you're starting to eat tremendously. You just keep eating. You just ate something, you go back in the kitchen, you're eating again. That's the enemy. That is the enemy. Okay? We have to pray against that and do not engage. We need to start eating healthy. God is lifting us up. Some of you have Esther anointings, and God is lifting us up to save many people and do wonders, but we have to stay in alignment, if that makes sense. We can't fall too far behind. We have to stay in alignment and be obedient to what God is saying. Okay? We have to be obedient to what God is saying at these times. And it's just so much, and I don't want the video to be too lengthy, so let me see here. Give me one moment. Okay, let me think of what else it is that I need to relate to you all. So that's one of them. And like I say, I'm not here to point fingers at anybody. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help, because I was going, and I still am going through some of the things that I talk about, because that's how I'm able to learn. God knows, like, certain people learn certain ways. So, you know, long as you get it eventually, that's all that matters. You get it. And you don't want your blessing to be delayed too long. So that's why I'm here to help those of you who may need help with these things at this time. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the video off here. But this is just a video to help you all. And until next time, guys, I love you all. God loves you all. And let's continue to do God's will. Let's continue to be obedient and serve the Lord and put him first at all things that we do. Let's continue to pray. Lift one another up at these times. There's no need to downplay anybody. We're just trying to be better than we were yesterday and continue to get better in Christ and learn and have the wisdom to be able to help others. We want to make it to heaven. We want to make it to heaven. Okay? So that's just that. Until next time, guys, I love you all. Y'all have a wonderful day.